Welcome to the Empowered with Erika podcast. My name is Erika FB, and I'm an empowerment coach, mindset mentor, personal development enthusiast, and holistic health advocate. I've spent the last several years healing my mind, body, and soul, and have learned so much along the way. From healing trauma to navigating a sober lifestyle and learning how to step into my personal power, it has been transformational. If you are looking to heal, to be inspired, to uplevel your life, and become the most empowered version of yourself, you've come to the right place. I created this podcast to help you know you are worthy of rewriting your story and to help you navigate your own empowerment journey. You are worthy of living your most authentic, aligned, and inspired life, and I can help you get there. Whether you are diving deep into personal development or just need a weekly pick-me-up, I've got you covered. Thank you so much for pressing play today. I cannot wait to transform together. Let's get empowered. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Empowered with Erika. Your host, Erika here, and I'm really fucking excited for today's episode, and also, happy fucking Thanksgiving. I did not realize my episodes come out on a Thursday, which means we have one coming out on Thanksgiving. I know not everyone celebrates, but I thought this was the perfect time to talk about gratitude. I am someone that loves gratitude. I've been doing a gratitude practice for a really long time, and it has literally changed my life. So we're going to talk about it today, and then I'm going to share what I'm grateful for. And I'd love to hear what you guys are grateful for. So share it on social media. Tell me what you love about the episode and tell me like 3 things you're grateful for. I think I'm going to be sharing 5 that I'm grateful for at the end of this episode. So here's the thing, guys. When you practice gratitude and you are intentionally grateful, it will change your life. And it has been shown to change our brain. So what does it mean to practice gratitude? Well, everyone has a different gratitude practice, like what it looks like. You can journal it, you can say it, you can write things down every day, you can write letters. And some of the studies I've found, they have people writing letters, they have people just writing 3 things that happened to them during the day. But gratitude is really all about expressing things that you are thankful for, grateful for, seeing the good, even in hard times. And what I love about a gratitude practice is even on those days that I've had like such a shit day where I'm just like so down and so annoyed, when I think back about the day, I can always find 3 things to be grateful for. And they can be big, they can be small, they can be literally, you know what, I had such a good cup of coffee this morning, or my partner gave me the best hug ever, or wow, I didn't run into any traffic on the way to work today. Or, wow, I'm having a really fucking good hair day. Like, it can be very small things. It doesn't need to be life-changing. But focusing on the positive, focusing on the good will change your life and it will change your mindset. And I swear it was one of the first things I started to do in my personal development journey. And I'm so glad I did. I know it has changed my outlook on life 100%. So there are a couple different places that I found. I found stuff from Berkeley, from Harvard, from this website called Mindful that's all about mindfulness, gratitude, all that good stuff. And they found some really interesting things. So a study from Berkeley had people write gratitude letters to other people, and they didn't say that you had to send it. You just had to physically write the letter. I think they said about 23% of people ended up sending those letters. So not everyone did, but it was just the art of writing it, the practice of writing a gratitude letter. And they found some really interesting results. And not only immediately after writing the letter, but 4 weeks after writing these letters and 12 weeks after writing these letters. So it's not just an immediate change. And sometimes actually you don't see immediate change, they found, but you can see long-term change. And I think that's very cool because I think sometimes in the moment we do a practice, like say meditation even. I do a meditation practice and I don't instantly feel better. So why the fuck am I doing it? Well, I'm doing it because when something hard comes up, I'm a lot less reactive and I have changed my mindset, changed my brain, right? So all these practices, in my opinion, have those long-term effects. So what did they find? What are the long-term effects? So the Berkeley study found that it helps us to separate from negative or toxic emotions. So because you're focusing on things you're grateful for, you're kind of separating yourself from those toxic and negative emotions and you're not focusing on them anymore. And that's huge. They also found that even if you keep it to yourself and you don't share it with others, you can still have these positive changes in your life. And they said that gratitude also has lasting effects on the brain. Like I said earlier, this study found these changes in the brain 3 months after the activity. And I'm not going to go into all the science stuff in the study, but if you want to go take a look for Berkeley's gratitude study, it's pretty interesting. But their overall theme was it does change your brain, and it changes it long term, not just in the short term. And you don't have to express it to someone else that you're grateful, but even if you just acknowledge it within yourself, you will have a positive impact on your life. And then Mindful shared some really cool things. And I feel like I've seen a lot of these things in my life personally. So gratitude, it strengthens and changes our positive recall. So when we focus on gratitude versus obstacles or negative things, it increases our feelings of optimism and happiness and positive emotions. And I think that's a little self-explanatory, but basically because we're like shifting our focus on the good and on the positive, we're not going to be seeing the obstacles as much. And I think that's really cool. I really think what you look at and what you look for, you're going to see more. So I'm sure I've said this in another episode, but if you're looking for a red car, you will all of a sudden see all these fucking red cars, which you may have not before. And it's because you're focusing on that thing, right? So when you focus on gratitude, when you focus on things to be grateful for, it's going to increase that optimism, that happiness, and those positive emotions, which helps to strengthen our positive recall. It also helps to strengthen resilience. And so, like I just said, when you're focusing on the positive versus the negative, even in negative situations, if you can see the positive, it will increase your resilience, and it helps you to see the bigger picture. And like I just said, it magnetizes these positive feelings. And I've seen this a lot in my own life. Like 2022 kicked my ass, right? I've said that multiple times. And I'm really grateful that I had a gratitude practice because honestly, I feel like this year would have crushed me if I couldn't find some good things along the way. And if I couldn't be grateful for certain things. One thing I'm grateful for this year, I mean, I'll talk more about it, but with all the bullshit, is it really strengthened my ties with those who supported me during the hard time, right? And it helped me see that I'm not alone. And it helped me see like I do have really good people in my life, right? And it also helped me realize like, hey, I am a unique individual and I'm able to stand on my own 2 feet and I'm going to be just fucking fine, right? So again, that increase in resilience, that increase in positive recall. It also on a physiological side, which I thought was really interesting, like it actually changes your body. So it has been shown to boost immunity and heart health, which I thought was really, really interesting. And I'm not going to go into all the scientific details on this. Again, look it up if you want to, but essentially it said because it calms the nervous system, which is going to put less stress on your body, right? So that makes sense. If our body is under a lot of stress, it's going to affect our heart. That's why they always recommend like mindfulness and ways to de-stress your life to help your health. Like, I mean, when I went to the doctor and I was sick, and actually I'm going to talk about that on next week's episode, is my health update. One of the big things she told me I needed to change was my stress because it's changing a lot of shit in my life, right? And so when you're focusing on gratitude, it helps to boost your immune system and boost your heart health because both of those things, like stress and a nervous system that is unregulated or dysregulated, will put a very large impact on, right? So when you can calm the nervous system and help it be into a regular state, homeostasis state, not like in a hypo or hyper state, it helps your body a lot. It also helps you to create stronger connections. So like I just said, that gratitude practice allowed me to create stronger connections with those in my life. And they said a big part of that is because typically you communicate better with your loved ones. And I think that's really cool, right? So these are a couple ways that gratitude can literally like change your brain, change your body, like it will change your life. It'll change you physically and mentally and spiritually. Like I 110% believe that. So how do we practice gratitude? There's a lot of different ways. And like, honestly, I've gotten really comfortable with just saying it outright, with literally just telling people that I'm grateful for them. Or in the moment, if they do something that I'm really grateful for, I'll say, hey, thank you so much for doing that. That means so much. Or I'm really grateful for you for doing that. Like little things. I do it all the time. And I do that because I also think it's important for other people to hear that you're grateful for them. I think that sometimes we need to hear that from others as well. So I think it's important to like speak it. I know, but I've also been doing this gratitude practice for a while and I also don't give many fucks. And so it doesn't like embarrass me or anything. I know a lot of people have that. They're like, wait, I don't want to like share that. That's like vulnerable. I get it, but I think it's really important, right? Further, you can via mindfulness and meditation, right? Like like you can do a guided meditation where you focus on the good, focus on what you're grateful for, right? Things like that. And then honestly, what helped me get started, and I am very certain I've talked about this before on the podcast through other avenues, through other episodes. But the 5-minute journal is really what helped me to solidify my gratitude practice and like get in the habit of it. And I'll be honest, I haven't used it in a while, but I also think it's because I just practice gratitude every day and it's now a habit for me. So I don't like it changed how I view the world, like having a gratitude practice. It changed how I viewed the world and how I saw things and like my perspective, my lens that I see things. So I think for me, not saying I don't need to write it down. I probably should. It definitely helps me when I do, but like if I'm just being transparent, I haven't done it in a while, like physically wrote it down. But if you're very new to the practice and you're like, this is so uncomfortable for me, I don't really know what I'm doing. Like, what do I do? How do I do this? The 5-minute journal is amazing. You can get a physical journal, but I've always used the app and I really like it. I set reminders, all that good stuff. And so I've kind of talked about this throughout the episode, but like, how has gratitude helped me? It's helped me in a shit ton of ways. Like I said earlier, it has helped me build resistance. Because I've been doing gratitude for a while now, like probably 4 years, 3 to 4 years. And I truly believe that all these hard things that have happened really since 2020, I have been able to survive and get through and honestly come out the other side stronger because my gratitude practice helped me to build resilience. It is one of the key tools that helped me to become more of a resilient person. And I think I already was pretty fucking resilient, if I'm being honest, but it helped me to just increase that resilience. And I really think that's true. And I think going into my next point and building off of that, why, how? It's because it allowed me to see the bigger picture, right? It allowed me to see, like, okay, maybe this thing is bad, but life happens for me, not to me. Listen to episode 1 if you've never heard me say that before. Life happens for me, not to me. So let me take a step back, look at the picture, look at the bigger picture, and what can I be grateful for in this situation, even if in the moment I'm like, fuck everyone, fuck this. This is absolute trash. Which, I'll be honest, I said to myself multiple times this year. I was like, I literally fucking cannot, right? But allowing and learning the skill set of how to see the bigger picture has been amazing for me. I mean, as hard as this is, and I'm sure that this may offend certain people in my life, but one of the things that I've learned this year with how to say this, one thing I've learned this year with having to take a step back from certain relationships is, one, realizing that I was really codependent with certain individuals, and also realizing that I can make my own decisions, and realizing that I really leaned on people too much for like approval. And also I did that because I didn't really trust myself. So it's also helped me to really learn how to trust myself and stand up for myself and set boundaries. Like, I've always loved a good fucking boundary. I've been setting boundaries like a motherfucker for the last several years now. But this was probably the hardest one I've set. And some people probably think I'm a total bitch for it. Like, but I don't really care because you show people how you want to be treated, right? And so I have pretty high expectations. I am understanding, but I'm also like, here's the thing. I don't do this shit to you. So if you want to be in my life and have your energy in my energy, like, I'm very protective of my energy and of my people. But I forget the quote, but basically like, hey, why don't you love yourself as much as you love others? And I'm like, hey, why don't I defend myself as much as I defend others? Like, I am a mama bear to my loved ones and friends, right? Like, I will rip your head off if you hurt them. So, fair warning. Obviously not literally, but like, I am very protective of my people. And for me, I was like, why don't I stand up for myself more? Why the fuck do I let people treat me like this, right? And so through this process, it's allowed me to see the bigger picture. And even though there's hard moments where you're like, gosh, this setting this boundary is hard, it's hard to set this boundary. I also have seen the good that has come out of it, right? So I think this attitude of gratitude, even in the really hard, shitty moments, you're like, how is there a good thing here? How could I find a good thing here? Because I'll be honest, the incident that happened in February, I was like, I don't know how the fuck I'm supposed to see any good in this situation. But a couple months down the road, I was able to. And I don't want to say the good, but I was able to find some things to be grateful for, right? Further, it helps me to see the good in others, right? So I really think it's very similar to what we were just talking about, bigger picture, finding the good in situations. It also helps me to see the good in other people. And it helps me to be really grateful for them and notice the little things that people do for me, right? It's helped me a lot to recognize the good in others. And I think a lot of times, like, we don't even intentionally do it, but I have found like we're just a very critical society, right? Like, we're always tearing each other down. I'm not saying we as in you or I, but like in general as a collective, so many people are just so negative, constantly tearing each other down, constantly shitting on each other. And that's such a negative mindset and energy to be in. Like, what the fuck? We need to just not do that. So this has just like helped me to see the good in other people and to really focus on those good qualities as much as I can. Now, again, that doesn't mean you ignore when people are like abusing you or taking advantage of you, but like, it is important to see the good, in my opinion, which then goes to my last point. It overall switched my mindset to focus on the good in general. So the bigger picture in people and situations, like, it just really has allowed me to almost immediately when something happens, I'm like, well, what's the good in this? Like, how has this helped me? How is this serving me? I am a big believer of life happens for you, not to you. So how can we make the most of this situation, even if it's shitty, right? Even if it's totally shitty, how can we find the good? Because there's going to be a sparkle of good somewhere, right? And that's hard, but it is what it is, right? Like, sometimes you got to do it. And I really think that having a gratitude practice and like every single day finding the good in something has overall just switched my mindset to focusing on the good in others and in people and in situations. And that's literally what the research found. So it makes sense that like I have had all these experiences. So now, what am I grateful for? What am I grateful for this year? Like, I mean, a lot has happened, and I do, even though there's been a lot of challenges, I have a lot to be grateful for. So what am I grateful for? This might be embarrassing him, but overall, first, I'm grateful for Kyle. He's been an incredible partner. He is so kind, and he's really been my rock through, like, ever since we've been dating, honestly, but especially this past year. Like, we both had our own individual challenges, and having that support system and that person that's like protective and caring and like makes life like a safe space for you is really important and really beautiful. And I know, like, I personally I've never like felt this safe, and I just am very grateful for that. And he always encourages me. He always encourages me to focus on like what I want to build for myself, focus on the good, like go for the new job, do the podcast, do the things. And like, just having that cheerleader and that support system is really, really amazing. And then what else am I grateful for? Like I've said earlier, I just have had so many friends and family who have really helped me in general this year, and who have just been really my rock, and they make life more fun. And I'm just really grateful. I feel like, honestly, this year, I definitely lost people, both like actually through death, but also just like lost relationships. And that being said, and as difficult as that was, I also really was able to see like who my true community is. And so I'm really grateful for each and every one of them. And you all know who you are. Like, you know who you are. So love y'all. So grateful for you. I'm also really grateful for having my health. And again, I'm going to talk about this on the next episode. I'd actually already recorded it, but then I totally forgot that today was Thanksgiving. And I'm like, I have to do a gratitude episode. So it's getting pushed to next week. But having my health, I definitely had some health challenges this year. I talk about it next week. And I'm just really grateful that, especially right now, I feel like I have finally found a rhythm with my health, and I'm feeling so much better than I was earlier in the year. And I just love that and I'm really grateful for the fact that I'm able to do the things that I love. Like I'm able to go exploring, go hiking, go skiing, go paddleboarding, like go for my walks, work out, go to yoga. Like I'm able to do all the things that I love, and I'm able to function in life and like be healthy, and I don't take that for granted. Now obviously I put a lot of work into it, but I also don't take it for granted because I think your health is something that is very underrated, and I'm very, very grateful for my health. So next, I'm grateful for my podcast community, for each and every one of you. You guys are incredible. You guys are amazing. I'm so grateful that you guys have given me this space and giving me this opportunity to share my heart with you, to share my journey with you, to share what I've learned. And I hope that, what I've learned can help you guys too, because honestly, I learned from so many amazing mentors. I'm so grateful for the people that I learned from. And I just want to pass down the lessons I've learned along the way, because I really think that's like, it's important, and it's important to surround yourself with good people. So just like I was talking about above with my family, my friends, and how it changes your mindset, gratitude does. Like having a good community, like you are the accumulation of like the 5 people you spend the most time with. But honestly, guys, like podcasts, books, like the content you take in is also so incredibly important. And so I'm just so grateful for those of you who listen every week, who listen when you can. Like it means the world to me. And you guys have just given me this outlet, giving me the space to grow and to share my journey and to be on the ride of life with me. It literally means the world. And so I'm really, really grateful for you guys. And I'm going to stop with this next one. This is going to be my last one, though honestly, I could probably just keep going and going and going. I'm so grateful for ACOA, Adult Children of Alcoholics, also known as ACA. People kind of interchange those terms, and that this is a program that I've been in for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years at the end of December. And honestly, it's completely changed my life. It took my therapy to a whole nother level. It has helped me heal childhood wounds, like just learned things. It's just helped me so much. And it has, like, I had been in therapy for a while by the time I started ACOA, and it just really took my healing to a whole nother level, and it helped me get to the root of things I didn't even know that I was struggling with. Like I knew I was struggling in certain areas, but I didn't know why. And so it's been an amazing community for me to heal, to connect, to not feel so alone. I think especially with some of the stuff I personally have been through on my journey, with my parents' divorce and then not seeing my dad and the fallout from that and all that stuff, like I really went through it alone. And I often really struggled with, like, why the fuck does my brain work the way that it does? Like, I can't just pop a pill and make it better. Like, nothing helps me. Like, what the fuck? How do I heal this hurt? Because it's fucking painful. And ACOA was the first time I felt seen in that capacity, that I didn't feel alone, that people actually understood what I was going through, even though we had different stories and different journeys. Like, we all have different stories and journeys. Like it's a community of individuals who actually understand what the fuck I've been through. And so that's huge to me. Like I was just saying with community, who you surround yourself with is so important. And I have so many supportive individuals from that community. And I know a lot of them are podcast listeners. To shout out to all of you. You guys are incredible. I love you all so much. So thankful for you, because it really is like another home and like another family. So that's what I'm grateful for this Thanksgiving. And I know that a lot of people hate Thanksgiving. I know that there's a lot of sketchy history behind it. I totally get it, and I'm not trying to dismiss it, but I just thought this would be an amazing opportunity for us to focus on gratitude. So this is how gratitude has changed my life. This is what the science has shown behind gratitude. So I just wanted to share it with each and every one of you. And I hope that you get something from this episode. If you have any questions on how to start a gratitude practice, please let me know. I'll put some links in the show notes, like for the 5-minute journal and different things that I found helpful. I'll probably try to throw in the studies that I found so you can take a look at it yourself in case you want to dig a little bit deeper into the science. But guys, I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you so much for listening. And next week, we're going to talk about health. I'm going to give you a bit of a health update and share things that have helped me along the way. So I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving, that you eat plenty of great food, spend some time with your loved ones, whether it's like with your family or a Friendsgiving or whatever you're doing, or even just by yourself and you're just like chilling. that's fun too. So I hope that you guys have an amazing day. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for listening today. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you for taking the time to be a part of our community. Don't forget to check the show notes for the resources I shared in today's episode, and of course to connect with me on social. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at erika.vishkalis. You can also find me on Facebook at Erika Vishkalis. If you want to be a part of our online community, check out our Facebook group, Empowered with Erika. You can also find all of our offers and community links at empoweredwitherika.com. I always love hearing from you, so don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe, and tag me with your biggest takeaways from today's episode. Let me know what you loved and what you want to hear more about, and share it with someone who you think would love it too. I cannot wait to share more with you. I will see you next week, and don't forget to stay empowered.